Good Friday morning, YouTube. How are you guys doing today? So I want to talk to you about there has been a new pope. Uh, there has been a new pope elected. Sorry about that. And so I want to talk to you about this. Now I am not a Catholic, but this is very interesting to me, simply because I believe that I, as well as a lot of people, believe that his election is is part of the book of Revelations, right? It's part of the apocalypse, right? Is part of the ushering in of the Antichrist, right? And we know that when it comes to the Catholic Church, there are over 1 billion followers of this Catholic Church. And why is that important? We're going to discuss that in a minute. But there was a man called Saint Malachi. He was born he made a 900 years ago. He made a prophecy, right? He had a revelation, a vision of a revelation of the popes. He said that there will be 112 popes, and the 112th pope will be the last pope. And so I think that people are getting that confused. Now, the 112th pope died the morning after Easter, which is very significant and very interesting to me. It's very interesting to me because of the revelation of Saint Malachi. Now, Saint Malachi says that this 112th Pope, which is this Pope right here, Pope Francis, is the last Pope. So they call him the last Pope. The prophecy calls him the last Pope. Some people are saying that um, he's saying that it's ushering in the destruction of the Catholic Church, right? And I kind of agree with that because I think what he means by the last pope, it is ushering in a new era when it comes to the Catholic Church. And what I mean by that is the end of the Christian faith as it goes in the Catholic Church as we know it. Pope Francis, he was for the poor. He advocated for the poor. He was a revolutionary of sorts. A lot of his clergy did not agree with his forward thinking. And so there is a lot of infighting. They say that there was a lot of infighting within the clergy of the Catholic Church because of Francis's beliefs. And that, in my opinion, is what led to Pope Leo being elected. Also, some people, and me included, don't understand how this pope got elected because he is an American. Some people say that he was acceptable to the clergy because he has dual citizenship. He is an American, and he has American nationality as well as Peruvian nationality or something like that. And they say he is the least American of the Americans, right? So the reason why they're saying that, in my opinion, is because when it comes to the Catholic Church, a lot of people can't believe, and a lot of people even now still can't believe that an American was elected, because America is a superpower, and when it comes to the superpower, the church is against superpowers having that much power. So if you are a superpower, and you are a leader of the world, and you lead via fear because of your superpower, why would you then have the church on your side? Why would you give an American pope so much power over 1 billion people? But see, there's a reason for that. Now, when it comes to Saint Malachi and his revelation and his dream that he says that in the final persecution of the Holy Roman Catholic Church, Peter the Roman will sit sheep herding his flock through numerous tribulations, right? Now we know that when it comes to Pope Francis, he led the church through 19. He led the church through um the actual the how do I say this? Because people be monitoring these. You have to be careful what you say, right? He led the church through all of the allegations that were said against it when it comes to the Pope. and what was done to children. Many of these children, now adults, came out and they sued the Catholic Church because of their trauma, because of what were done to many of them. Pope Francis cried with them. He was on their side. He was very understanding. He did not try to cover it up, like many popes have done, allegedly, or so they say. And I believe they have, right? And so that he was really anti-clergy, right? He was like kind of like an independent, right? He was like a, in my opinion, he is a Catholic, but he was more of a Christ follower. But he was still under the banner of a man-made church, a man-made system, a beast system, if you will. And I will tell you why I say that, right? But anyway, this is the reason why they call Francis the last pope, and it also says that, and when these things have come to pass, the city on the seven hills will be destroyed, and the dreadful judge will judge his people, says the end, right? That's what uh, uh, Saint Malachi prophesied, right? And so that is in direct correlation to the book of Revelation, in my opinion. And when it comes to the Catholic Church, it is one of the seven heads of the beast talked about in the book of Revelation, right? And so you have to, I think that it's very, very important to pay attention to this Pope as it pertains to the book of Revelations and in the end times, right? And Revelation 13 says, rich or and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on the right hand or on their foreheads, and that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark of the same name of the beast or the number of his name. And the reason why I put this in here really quick is because there in the book of Revelations, they also talk about two heads of the beast, the one being the Antichrist, and the second head being the false prophet, and a false prophet is supposed to lead people into worshiping the beast, the Antichrist, and lead them to getting the mark. Now, if you're the head of a church that has over 1 billion people following you, and you set yourself above Jesus Christ, it is quite possible that you could lead these people into worshiping this Antichrist, right? And it's also, in my opinion, I can't believe that there was personally, I can't believe that. Well, I can believe it, but if I were a Catholic, I would be wondering to myself, why in the world would there ever be an American Pope, right? And the reason why I say that is not because America is a superpower or was a superpower. It still is a superpower. I give them that, but I don't think they're number one as it pertains to superpower anymore because of our government right now. But I would be wondering, how in the world why in the world you would elect a Pope that was born in Chicago, Illinois. Chicago is a, we're going to have to talk about that. Chicago, in my opinion, is a portal, right? I believe it is a unveiling. It is a rift. It is when it comes to dimensions, I think that is a portal. Chicago has a history when it comes to ritualism, when it comes to being a portal, when it comes to destruction and things of that nature. And for the fact that he was born in Chicago is very, very interesting to me because that is a portal, just like New Orleans is a portal, right? I think that Chicago is a portal as well. And it's very interesting that he came from that portal. And the reason why I say that, that's another reason why I can't believe, but I can believe, as it pertains to Revelation, that he was elected as this Pope. Well, he's calling himself Pope Leo. His name is Prevost, something Prevost is his actual name, but he's calling himself Pope Leo the 14th. So, and like I said, when it comes to the Catholic Church, I have always uh I don't I cannot I'm not coming down on anybody's religion, but truly, this is a man-made religion. We have heard many stories as it pertains to the Catholic Church. Any religious organization that sets itself above Jesus. Jesus is the intercessor, and when it comes to the Catholic Church sets themselves over Jesus, because the Bible, Jesus said that no man comes to the Father but through Him. Now, if you are a Catholic, you pray and you confess to a priest, and the priest is supposed to be the intercessor to God, right? So you pray, you confess. He gives you, I guess, do 12 Hail Marys because you told a lie, or something like that, right? Now, that is an issue, right? Because you're shoving Jesus out the way as an intercessor, and you're inserting yourself as a man, as a human being, as an intercessor. So that's a problem right there, because that means you're serving man and you're not serving God. That's an issue. So any religion that does something like that, I can't get behind it. We also can't forget about all of the heinous acts that have come from the Catholic Church since its inception. Right? We can't forget about that. We can't forget about um the way that they uh, seemingly serve one God, in the top of the church, but serve another in the bottom, they say. This is the reason why you got so many creepy movies and stuff about the Catholic Church. It's just a whole weird thing to me. Like, I just can't wrap my mind around it. I don't know. I don't go in depth when it comes to Catholic Church. Like I said, I am not a Catholic. I am a Christ follower. But this is very interesting, because I truly believe that we are the end times, and I truly believe that these things are in correlation to the book of Revelations. That's why this Saint Malachi's prophecy, because he was a Catholic, I think that it is so the reason why it is so relevant. I think that they are saying Pope Francis was the last pope. They're saying that because I think what they mean by that is he's the last pope before the apocalypse. What they mean by that, like I said, he's the last pope that actually tried to attempted to be a Christ follower. I think that this Pope Leo, he looks so innocent, looks like a really nice guy. In my opinion, he comes from Babylon, and he looks innocent, but he's really young. Compared to other popes, he's like they said, like he's 69 years old. He could reign for decades. Who knows what he is going to usher in? Who knows what his objectives are going to be? I think that his objectives are going to be absolutely contrary to from the beliefs of Pope Francis. I do believe that he is going to set the Catholic Church back, in my opinion, from them being so liberal. I think that he will be more structured. I think that they will, pretty much batten down the hatches like they did before Pope Francis. And what I mean by batten down the hatches is I think they will become more papal minded, more clergy minded, more, which means they will become more secretive, right? And any church that allows money and masonry and occultism and things of this nature to form their opinions, to form their actions. I feel like you just have to side eye any church that does that, right? And so anyway, that's how I feel about it. But I wanted to come to you guys, give you this information. Thanks for joining me. That's pretty much all I have to say. We're gonna have to see what's gonna happen. But I cannot believe that they actually had the cojones to elect an American Pope, right? For a whole lot of reasons, right? Now we're not even gonna get into before I go. Another reason why I can't believe that they elected a Anglo American Pope is because of the patriarchal system that we have in this country. Now, that's not surprising, because there's a patriarchal system all over this world, right? This Pope right here doesn't even believe that females should be ordained or something like that. And so, I mean, hey, I'm not, I'm not surprised about that. We know that misogyny reigns free in this United States of America. I think that because there has been a lot of uproar or infighting. But then this Catholic Church, just like there has been infighting in our United States government, in my opinion, right? And so, but I think that he could help usher in the Antichrist or make the Antichrist more palatable to his people, right? And so, but I side eye him because you come directly from Babylon, right? I know that they call the Roman the Rome Babylon, but I don't even see America necessarily as Babylon. I see it more as Sodom and Gomorrah. That's how I see America, right? So it is alongside Babylon, in my opinion, if you know, or possibly even worse than Babylon, right? America has never even atoned for its original sin. Will this Pope even ask the the U.S. government to atone from its original sin, right? And it's got several original sins, several deeds that cannot be undone, in my opinion, right? And so there's so much bloodshed, that came with them with this quote unquote a new world, right? This I mean, from the Indians to our ancestors to even some of their ancestors, it's so much debauchery that has gone on and is going on now. Now we have a government that is pushing our people towards disastrous things that are offensive happen in this country. That's a whole nother video. I ain't gonna get on that. But anyway, I gotta go. I just really couldn't believe that. I mean, I guess I can believe it as it pertains to the book of Revelation. It's prophecy, right? I mean, also they said that Saint Malachi's. Some people are saying that is a forgery. That his prophecy was not real. He never wrote anything like that. But they also say that everything that he wrote about the 112 popes is absolutely correct. And so why wouldn't you? That's why they're talking about this revelation right here when it came to Pope Francis. So anyway, that's all I got. I'm gonna talk to you guys later. Thanks for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe the video. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I mean, right? So I'm gonna talk to you guys later. I love you in the way that Christ loves you. Bye bye. Peace.